For those that don't know me, my name is J. Cat Morris. I spent the past 21 years plus working at Associated Humane Society's Popcorn Park. I changed what the word adoptable means for cats. I've domesticated countless feral cats, scared cats that would be lumped into groups that would be considered to be not adoptable. I spent years of having to make weekly euthanasia lists with me having to make the choices. Cried myself to sleep more times than I could even think about or that I cared to. I put every bit of myself into this job. I found a connection with cats, and I found a way to connect with them where other people would look away. Other people would just make them a statistic. They would just make them a number. I made sure that these cats always had names. They had to have an identity. They couldn't just be another number. Through years of hard work, we were able to accomplish stopping euthanasia lists for space. We had so much open space that we were able to help our sister shelter in Newark a lot. We took many, many cats from there, and they continue to, because the space is open. When the new management showed up, everything changed. We had accomplished something that no one else was doing. Every cat that walked into our door stood a chance. Every one of them mattered. Every single one of them had an identity and had a chance. They weren't written off, they weren't categorized, they weren't put into these different categories where a large portion of those cats do not matter in the animal field. And I couldn't have that. I decided I'd die on that hill that gave these cats a chance that other people would consider to be throwaway. Those numbers would just be the end of the stat. Live release rate became their new goal. So where hundreds upon hundreds of cats were euthanized in Newark, now they just disappeared. All they could say is that they left their system alive. Where they were put is a whole different ballgame. Cats are being transferred in droves to Massachusetts. Cats are being advertised as strong as nails and ready to head outside and live outside and protect your area from rodents. This is what's being done with cats. The cats are disappearing. I fought against all these efforts. I fought against everything that was being put in place. I saw a lot of this coming, and I continued to fight against it. I was able to hold them at bay for the most part. The consistent pressure was always there. And in September, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. When I went out with colon cancer, they opened the floodgates to everything I fought against. They cleared that building of cats to the best of their ability. There's now rooms of cats. They used to hold 25 cats in them. Empty. Completely empty. My area used to be the male cat yard for a lot of years. And it has 21 cages in it and a roaming area that held 25 cats. Last I heard, there was 4 total cats in that area. They're opting out of cat care. They're opting out of being part of the solution. They want to be a holding facility. They want to move the numbers through their system so they can't be blamed for any of the negatives. We were never Newark. We never should have been classified as Newark. And it's unfortunate because there's so many great people there. There's so many good people who struggle through what I struggled through all of these years. And they struggle in silence because they're so scared to say anything, because the people who are doing wrong will just continue to do wrong, and they'll turn up the volume on doing wrong. You live in such a state of fear, uncertainty, and instability in that organization. It's extremely traumatizing. So while I was out, I decided I was going to foster Butterfinger. Butterfinger was one of 3 cats I had in my sights, Butterfinger was going to come home and be fostered by me. I felt Butterfinger was the easiest of the three, so I can get him a home. And then Baby and Sadie would be the next two. And Baby and Sadie were two cats that I've been working with for a long time. Sadie was a cat who, when she was initially trapped to be spayed and released, she gave birth to dead babies in the trap. As you can imagine, that causes an animal great trauma, not knowing what just happened with their life and then suddenly being contained. I spent a long time gaining that cat's trust. She'd made so much progress. I have videos on it. There's no denying the things that I've done. And Baby, she had been with me even longer. Another cat, formerly outside, formerly feral. She would purr and drool, and so my plan was to take them when Butterfinger had gotten a home. In the meantime, we worked with them. Butterfinger made such progress, but we got no interest. I was fine with that. Not fine with not getting interest, but I understand the time it takes to get the proper homes for cats because I've done this for 21 plus years. This is what this is. People who don't know what this is, they go for shortcuts. And that's why this is why this is happening. Because a number of people got involved in animal business. So I told everybody when Butterfinger was adopted, Baby and Sadie would come home. Not home, but to be fostered. I knew they were harder, so I figured if I can get Butterfinger out of the way first, well then Baby and Sadie would have a much more comfortable stay knowing that there is no time limits. There is no worry. I'd work with them for as long as I had to find them their future. Well, one day, a few weeks ago, I was informed that Baby and Sadie were thrown back outside. These cats lived inside in climate-controlled area, for 1+ and 2+ years, respectively, Baby being there longer. These cats don't know about survival. They may have come from outside, but you can't take 2 years off of that and then just be thrown back outside. These cats don't stand a chance at survival out there. Since I went out on colon cancer disability, I haven't slept before 3 o'clock in the morning, every single night. The faces of these cats that people so reasonably, so easily, not reasonably, unreasonably, easily write off. They're a number. They're not. My own cats, so many of my own cats, so many people that email me about the love of their life, their best friend in the world that they thank me for. Those are the cats. Those are the very same cats that are being spoke of as disposable. And I'm not having it. My mission was accomplished for 21 years. My platform was AHS. They've scorched the earth. And now their cat whisperer needs to raise his voice a bit, because better cat care needs to exist. Higher standards need to be applied to every situation. I know how to do this. I did this for 21 years. This isn't delusion. This isn't unreasonable standards or expectations. This is something that I successfully did for 21 years. And because the Newark shelter couldn't imagine to accomplish what we have due to their overcrowding, due to their stacking the deck with township contracts that they can never in a million years handle, and the ACOs being drop off and pick up ACOs, this problem, this is where we're at. And now I sit, my disability is cut off. For the first time in 21 years, I'm unemployed. I'm gonna need support in this. This is heavy for me.